All right, counting down. Last person I had was Tiger Woods, number 8. Number 8 on the list. No, Tiger Woods was number 9. Number 8, Wayne Gretzky. Wow, what a hockey player he was. What are his stats? He's number 1. I've got Wayne Gretzky on here. He plays in 1,487 hockey games, 894 goals, 1,963 assists. So he has 2,857 points. Wayne Gretzky. 9 MVP awards. 4 Stanley Cups. And he owns 61 hockey records. Most dominant hockey player of all time. The best? Gotta wonder about Lemieux and Gordie Howe. Mario Lemieux and Gordie Howe. But Wayne Gretzky holds the records and 9 MVPs. Wayne Gretzky, got him down on the list. 7, Joe Louis, boxing. Why? Well, listen to his record. 66-3. 52 knockouts. And there's a debate. Who's the best boxer of all time? Is it Muhammad Ali, Joe Frazier, Jack Dempsey, Jack Johnson, Sugar Ray Robinson, Sugar Ray Robinson, Floyd Mayweather? As far as heavyweight division, I believe this consensus is this. Joe Louis, best boxer of all time. 66-3. But what's significant, Joe Louis, is 52 knockouts. Nobody can go the distance, or very rare for you to go the distance. And then when he lost, he only lost 3 times. Why did he lose? Because toward the end of your career, it gets harder. And other younger guys are coming up. 7 on the list was Joe Louis. Number 6 on the list. You're going to be surprised at this one. Russell Baze. Who's he? Horse racing. Jockey. But why do I have him down? Russell Baze. Have you looked him up? He's number 1 in wins. 12,844 horse racing wins. If you can win 1 or 2 or 3 in horse racing and a jockey, well, you're average. You win 10 to 50, good. 100, better. 1,000, much better. 5,000, and then Billy Shoemaker has 8,000 wins, but this guy, Russell Baze, has 12,844 wins. Don't you think that's significant in athletic competition ability and endurance historically? I do. You know, you're riding a horse. You got to train. You run around the track. That's not easy. I got him down anyway. Number 6. Number 5, Wilt Chamberlain. Why? Basketball. He averages 30 points a game for 14 years. One season, he scored 100 points in a game. Now, we don't have videotape of that game. Obviously, many of those shots were probably 10 feet and under, slam dunks, layups, maybe 15-footers, 10-footers. But if you can average 50 points for an 82-game season, in fact, one season, he averaged 48 minutes a game. And in basketball, you have 12 minutes a quarter for 4 quarters. So that's 48 minutes. For the whole season, he averages 48 minutes a game playing. That takes strength, endurance, and talent. And he averages 30 points a game for his career, but in the early years, he had one season of 50 points a game he averaged, and then he averaged 44 points a game, and then he averaged 37 points a game. But toward the end of his career, he only averaged like 15 or 20 points a game. But if you add up his total career, it comes out to 30 points a game because he has over 30,000 points. Wilt Chamberlain. What an athlete. 5 on the list. Number 4. Who beats him? Michael Jordan. Why is he better? Because he shoots the 20 and 25 footers, and he averages 30 points a game for his career. And what do I have him down? 14 years. He wins 6 titles, never loses in the finals. He's number 1 in scoring average, 30.1 points per game for 1,072 games. So he has over 32,000 points, 10 scoring titles, 5 MVPs, and Most Valuable Player awards. But in the NBA Finals, he wins 6 titles and 6 MVP title or awards in the finals. Michael Jordan, one of the most dominant basketball players of all time, most athletic, and he's not just shooting layups and dunks, but he's got this shooting touch of 20 to 25 footers, and he averages 30 points a game for a 14-year period of over 1,000 games. You got to put Michael Jordan, one of the greatest athletes of all time. The next 3, you may disagree, but I'm looking for longevity and endurance. 3 on the list is Lou Gehrig. Why? He plays in 2,130 consecutive games, baseball. He plays 17 years, and then toward the end of his career, he gets Lou Gehrig's disease, which is multiple sclerosis, and has to quit baseball. But he racks up the stats. Where's Lou on my list? Lou Gehrig. All right, let's see. What does he do? 2,000, over 2,400 games he plays in his career, but he plays in 2,130 in a row. Doesn't come out of the lineup. That takes strength and endurance. He averages 340 batting average for his career, 493 home runs, and close to 2,000 RBIs. But as far as significant athlete, strength, stamina, and talent, Lou Gehrig, baseball, 2,130 games in a row. Now, another guy on the list would be Cal Ripken. He had 2,632 games in a row. I didn't even put him down on the list because his stats, Cal Ripken had over 3,000 hits, but I believe in Cal Ripken's era, it was hard to do what he did, but I think it was a little easier because of the travel and comfort of hotels during Cal Ripken's era. But during Lou Gehrig's era, that was a little harder. The train travel and the quality of hotels when you're visiting in other cities. And they played a lot of day games. So I think Lou's streak is a little better than Cal Ripken's streak. What do you think of that? You ever think someone would say that? Why? Because I think Cal Ripken's era is a little bit more conducive as far as the comfort of getting through the games, where Lou's era was a little harder as far as the travel and the endurance and the playing. You may disagree with me on that, and that's okay. Number 2 on the list as far as athletes. Again, I'm not going to say that he has more athletic ability than some of the other guys on the list. I just have the ranking. I just had to put him down on the paper. But as far as my opinion, number 2 on the list, this guy, I'll let you think about this, plays 22 years in his sport. And he dies at a young age. He dies at 53 years old. He plays 2,503 games in his sport. He starts off his career, first 5 years, as a pitcher and wins 94 games pitching. Then he's converted to an everyday player. So for the next 16 and a half years, he's an everyday player, and he accumulates 714 home runs, 2,062 RBIs, 2,800 hits, 2,100 runs scored, wins 7 World Series titles, and becomes one of the most recognizable names in sports history, Babe Ruth. As far as athletic ability, he out-dominated everybody as far as the home runs and the accumulated stats and the ability as a baseball player. 700 home runs in 16 years. Well, in 16 to 17 year period. But he could have been a really dominant pitcher. He had 94 wins in 6 years. So almost 100 wins in 6 years. 12 years would have been 200 wins. 18 years would have been 300 wins. You could have 350 wins if he sticks with pitching his whole career, but he doesn't. He goes to the everyday player and racks up the 342 lifetime batting average, 714 home runs, slugging percentage and all this. Babe Ruth. He had the talent, he had the strength, he had the ability and the endurance. He didn't just play 10 years. Like some of the other guys on the list were only 10, 12 years. They got hurt. But he goes 22 years. Babe Ruth, who's number 1? You may disagree. But this guy has a career that no one else in baseball history has. But as far as ranking up stats and achievements and records, who else beside that Russell Baze, who has over 12,000 horsing victories, and Wayne Gretzky has over 2,800 points in hockey, and Tom Brady has all the records for 581 touchdowns in football, and Michael Jordan has 10 scoring titles. They have pretty impressive achievements. But this guy has 90 records. Or he established 90 records while he was playing. I don't know of anybody else who, whatever sport they're in, they're just completely dominating as far as the record books. Now, Michael Phelps has the 28 medals. I don't think anybody will approach that, right? Olympic medals. And Tom Brady has the 6 Super Bowls, which is incredible. And some of these other guys. But who am I talking about as far as 90 records in his sport? Do you know who? Ty Cobb. 11 batting titles. Now, Tony Gwynn had 8. Honus Wagner had 8. Stan Musial had 7, and I believe Ted Williams had 6 titles. Another guy, Rod Carew, had multiple 7 titles. But Ty Cobb, why? What does he do? 24 years in the league, and 23 out of the 24 years he bats over 300, has 3 400 batting average seasons. Three times he does that. He has 4,189 hits in over 3,000 games, averaged more than a hit per game. 366 lifetime batting average, which will never be broken. So he establishes a record out of 15,000 baseball players. Nobody's going to have a career of 24 years averaging 366. Oh my, has over 700 doubles, over close to 300 triples. And he establishes 90 records in his sport. Now, I think some of them have been broken, because in the nowadays era, for example, he had the most runs scored, and then Rickey Henderson broke it. Okay. But during his time, he was the most dominant guy as far as runs scored. He had most hits in a season, and then someone broke that. But what I'm saying is, when he was playing, he established a record of what he was doing. 90 of them. I can't list them all. Ty Cobb, as far as an athlete, he was playing from 1905 to 1928. So again, during that time, you don't have the comforts of today's ball players. Today's ball players have the doctors and the physicians and the training, and you have good facilities to work in. Your travel is better as far as planes, and playing in ballparks are better. During that time, it was rougher during Ty Cobb's era, and yet he had the strength, the endurance, the talent, the ability to excel in his sport. So as an athlete, he accumulates all these achievements. Now, you may be saying, well, the question I'll ask is, if you want to say that other ball players were as good as Cobb, why didn't they rack up the same records or numbers as Cobb did? Why was he the only one during that time? 11 batting titles, bats over 300 every year except for one, bats over 400, doubles, triples. Wow, what an athlete. So if you're going to say, well, other players may compare, why didn't they do what he did? Because he outperformed and outplayed everybody during that time. My argument has always been that Babe Ruth is the greatest baseball player of all time as far as what he accomplished, but Ty Cobb is the best hitter of all time as far as what he accomplished. All right, what do you think of my list? Let me just recap. And like I said, as I put them down on paper, I'm not saying that one is better than the other, or I achieved the other, or out talent, or had a better talent than the other person. I just put it down, but I'll just recap, okay, for you. 67, Len Wickwar. All right, let's see. Boxing. 66, Larry Bird, basketball. 65, Magic Johnson, basketball. 64, Bill Shoemaker, horse racing. 63, Jack Johnson, boxing. 62, Jerry West, basketball. 61, Jim Connors, tennis. 60, Oscar Robertson, basketball. 59, Bobby Orr, hockey. 58, Joe Montana, football. 57, Ted Williams, baseball. 56, Jackie Robinson, baseball. 55, Bo Jackson, football and baseball. 54, Deion Sanders, baseball and football. 53, Jim Brown, football. 52, Jim Thorpe, the Olympics, football, track, and baseball. 51, Willie Mays, baseball. 50, Bruce Lee, martial arts. 49, John Cena, wrestling. 47, Barry Sanders, football. 46, Stan Musial, baseball. 45, Archie Moore, boxing. 44, Kobe Bryant, basketball. 43, Jack Johnson, boxing. 42, Pete Rose, baseball. 41, Tony Gwynn, baseball. 40, Hank Aaron, baseball. 39, Honus Wagner, baseball. 38, Nolan Ryan, baseball. 37, Pele, soccer. 36, Cy Young, baseball. 35, Walter Johnson, baseball. 34, Sandy Koufax, baseball. 33, Joe DiMaggio, baseball. 32, Johnny Unitas, football. 31, Mark Spitz, swimming. 30, Rocky Marciano, boxing. 29, Usain Bolt, track, Olympics. 28, Carl Lewis, track, Olympics. 27, Jesse Owens, Olympics, track. 26, Tom Brady, football. 25, Pete Maravich, basketball. 24, Mickey Mantle, baseball. 23, Ben Hogan, golf. 22, LeBron James, basketball. 21, Jerry Rice, football. 20, Sugar Ray Robinson, boxing. 19, Peyton Manning, football. 18, Arnold Palmer, golf. 17, Roger Federer, tennis. 16, Mario Lemieux, hockey. 15, Sam Snead, golf. 14, Michael Phelps, swimming. 13, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, basketball. 12, Muhammad Ali, boxing. 11, Gordie Howe, hockey. 10, Jack Nicklaus, golf. 9, Tiger Woods, golf. 8, Wayne Gretzky, hockey. 7, Joe Louis, boxing. 6, Russell Bays, horse racing. 5, Wilt Chamberlain, basketball. 4, Michael Jordan, basketball. 3, Lou Gehrig, baseball. 2, Babe Ruth, baseball. 1, Ty Cobb, baseball. What do you think of those 67 guys? And you know what? An honorable mention to Philip Palladius. Phil Pedius, Greek messenger who ran a 26 marathon, and he alerted the Persians that he alerted the Greeks that the Persians got defeated in the Battle of Marathon. And I think he ran the marathon in bare feet, according to Greek legend. All right, how about sports ability and sports athletes in our history? There will be more to come, and there's some I left off. My apologies for those who I left off. Did you see my bias? What was my bias? Baseball. How many do I have of baseball? 1, 2, 3. Let's see. Baseball. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 17 baseball players are on my list. How many boxers? Boxers. 1, let's see, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 5 boxers, 2 horse racers, Billy Shoemaker and Russell Bays. Hockey, 3 players, Wayne Gretzky, Gordie Howe, and Mario Lemieux. Golf, 1, 2, 3, 4 golfers, right? Soccer, one player, Bailey. Basketball, how many in basketball? One, two, let's see, basketball. 3, 4, 5, about 6 basketball players, 7 basketball players. Football, how many? Let's see, football, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 football players. Swimmers, I've got Michael Phelps and Mark Spitz. What other? Wrestling, I've got one guy named John Cena. Martial arts, I've got one guy named Bruce Lee. So I've got baseball, basketball, boxing, hockey, golf, swimming, track. Yeah, I've got 4 guys on track. Usain Bolt, Carl Lewis, Jesse Owens, and Jim Thorpe. Okay. All right, baseball, basketball, boxing, golf, football, Olympics, track, swimming, horse racing, wrestling, martial arts, tennis. Okay. Who do you like on this list? Who do I like? I like the baseball players. Yeah, I like the basketball players, football players, golfers, pretty good. Hockey's impressive. Track. Who's my favorite guy on this list? That's a hard one. Babe Ruth. Ty Cobb. Who's my favorite hockey player? I'm going to go with Mario Lemieux. I'm sorry. Who's my favorite football player? If I wanted to watch a game, who do I want to watch? Tom Brady. Sorry. Who's my favorite swimmer? Michael Phelps. Martial arts, Bruce Lee. Tennis player, Roger Federer, hands down. Track? You got to watch Usain Bolt, right? Golf? Tiger Woods. Boxer? Joe Louis. Horse racing? I'll go with the Russell Bays guy because 12,000 wins. So if he's in the match, you're going to watch, or in the race, you're going to watch. Oh, basketball player. Who's your favorite? My apologies. I got to go with Pete Maravich. I'm sorry, because of his college career. 44 points a game, 3 years in a row. Who can lay claim to that? Chamberlain didn't do that. Jordan didn't do that. But in the pros, Michael Jordan, 10 scoring titles, 30 points a game. So he's a close second. But I like Pete Maravich. Okay, so baseball is Babe Ruth. Basketball is Pete Maravich. Boxing is Joe Louis. Hockey is Mario Lemieux. Golf is Tiger Woods. Tennis is Roger Federer. Swimming, Michael Phelps. Track, Usain Bolt. Horse racing, Russell Bays. Boxing, did I mention that already? Joe Louis, yeah. Football, Tom Brady. I think I've covered everything, right? I keep rambling on here, right? What do you think? and Bruce Lee and martial arts. You ever seen a Bruce Lee movie? Try it. Okay, Ken Arnazone signing out. Thanks for taking the time to watch. It's in 2 parts, part 1 and part 2. I'll name this Athletes Performances part 2, and the other one is part 1. So if you're wondering what this video is about, check out part 1. This one is part 2. Ken Arnazone, I'm signing out for now. I'm out.